It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's Walkabout Wednesday in my garden. So let's look at what has transpired since the last time we walked through. One thing that I find a hoot are these Sedum tinctum that are growing down here on the ground. Now these fell off out of the gutters as leaves, rooted through the rock into the soil. This one is even going through the little Bentley's little pea pad, and look how green they are and how etiolated. And remember, etiolated means they're reaching for the light. This is a really shady spot in the garden, so I've just kind of let this go, and I'm going to continue to let it go and see what it does. But I just thought that was a hoot. You talk to me often about how do you keep the leaves from falling off of the rubra-tinctum because they're so delicate. I don't. But let them bloom where they're planted. Let them sprout where they fall. This is a perfect example of just how resilient these plants are and how carefree they are. I did go through and trim back all the polyphylla, the crassulas that had all those dead blooms on them. But I'm not going to work on resetting these leggy plants until we are definitely out of the hot weather. It's early September now. And I'm going to wait because September is traditionally our hottest month here in San Diego. Okay, everything, my one and dones, my snowflakes, my cactus, my millie, the whale's tail crest. These just look fantastic. No fuss, no muss. I kind of get you collectors, You just plant your little cactus or whatever in a pot and get on with it, right? It's stuff like this that requires the energy and the work. I love this look, but look what a beating this Aeonium sunburst has taken this summer. This is all damage from sunburn. It just looks so crappy, but it will make a comeback. This little number right here that looks kind of like, well, it looks like an Echeveria, Liliaceae maybe, or I don't even know, but wow, it is happy as a clam. There, I just planted my Euphorbia trigona in this pot. I realized this is one of my favorite plants and I didn't have one, so we fixed that. And Greg's little mystery codex is throwing off more cute little leaves. Whoopie-doo on that. Oh my gosh, guys, this is just so fun. Okay, and I repotted my Echeveria. This is Sea Dragon, and these carunculations here are lumpy bumpies. I call it ball sacky. This is actually a virus that causes this mutation on the leaves of the plant. It is not dangerous. It is fun and cute, and I like it. And our little leaflets, our little leaf props here, I planted them up, a couple of weeks ago finally, and I just come out and I mist every day to keep the soil moist on those. These little Graptosedum ghosties, I actually like these more than I do my grapefruit tree at this point. They are so incredibly happy in this pot. They're starting to turn colors too. And I cut off of this plant constantly. Here's a perfect example of how little babies grow right beneath the cut. Look at that. And over here too. See that? Cut, and then right beneath we got a new plantlet. Very, very, very active grower. This pot it's just really cool right here. So sometimes you get lucky and you put the right thing in the right place. And this is a perfect example of that. This stand of Graptosedum ghosty started as just me taking, I have a cutting, and dropping it in the pot. And a couple years later, I got this. And Hannah, how many would you say we've taken off these plant for various?
So many.
Oh my gosh, so many projects, probably 20, 30, easy, and it just keeps on giving. The Fred Ives over here are stem propagate. Little experiment is looking really, really good. Those are still growing. And a gopher has visited the garden. Don't you just love it when that happens? Gosh, I wish I could hire these gophers to come work for me. Look at that, soft soil. They've got it all. I mean, this is hard hard pan underneath this rock, and they do such a magnificent job of working the soil. I will be taking a dustpan and scooping all that dirt up and throwing it over the fence. But let's see if they got the roots of this brevifolia. I don't know. I don't think they bothered it. You know, it doesn't look like it's got any fresh damage or fresh cuts to it. But, you know, if they had taken roots from this, it wouldn't have mattered. I'm not concerned about that. What kind of concerns me, though, is my honeysuckle. I hope that they didn't go after the roots of my honeysuckle. I absolutely love this plant. And, you know, that's one of the main reasons why I put my fruit trees in pots, too, is because we do back up to open space, and gophers are just a reality for me. You guys remember when the Brugmansia collapsed? Well, look at it now. I have done nothing except water this, and it has made a complete comeback. It's even got a lot of bud growth on it. So it's fine. It's like a weed. It's fine. Oh boy, looky here, Han. More gophers. There's some fresh mounding right there, but I'm not worried about my succulents because they can have the roots. You know the succulents don't really need the roots. It's just that they make a mess and they disrupt my rock, so that annoys me no end. Look at all the growth that Aluaudia procera has put on. Do you see at that top foot? It's not as leafy as this part here. That's growth that has occurred within, what would you say, Han, like the last couple months?
No, because it grew out prior, leafed out, and then regrew again.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So even sooner. I mean, but this thing is just, I'm just loving this. This is absolutely fantastic. I know, you know, it's September. This is our hottest month, although the weather has been mild the last few days, but my topsy-turvy is in dire need of some sprucing up, and because this does get filtered sunlight and lots of protection, I think a project that I'm going to do real soon is to take some rooted plants and tuck in some of the gaps, fluff this up. That's going to make me happy. My mangave, I don't know what to tell you about that. I came home from being up at the ranch and it looked like it was dying. So, yet the new growth looks fine. It's still rooted into the pot. It's not sans roots. So I don't know if Hannah just didn't get enough water on it while I was gone or what, but we'll keep our eyes on that. In my lemon tree pot, underplanted is Sedum virigamason. This dies back every single winter and comes back every single summer. It has these wonderful fuchsia colored flowers on it, and it is absolutely a joy to behold the way it goes away and comes back each and every year. I've even repotted this plant, taken it out of the pot completely and redone it, and the virigamason has come along for the ride, unbeknownst to me. Also, my freesia is starting to make a comeback too. As hard as I've tried to pull all the freesia bulbs out of this pot because I didn't want them competing for nutrients with the lemon tree, they just keep making a comeback, so we'll just let it go. My roses are making a late summer, early fall push. I'm really, really excited to see all of the new growth on my roses, and I've got a lot of buds set, so they should be throwing off some flowers for me this fall. As you know, I moved a couple of my larger agaves, my Blue Glow and my Mediopicta, over here to free up space for the area where I'm going to be doing the master class come the first of the year, and I get to enjoy these plants a lot more here too. I also tightened this area up under the raised bed so that it looks a little more presentable. I really love this Susan Ock pot and my little seashell down there and my little Talavera ball. This is the Echeveria that had rotted. We did a video on that, and I'm leaving it here until it completely calluses. I will replant that later in the fall. The raised bed tapestry that I did at the beginning of quarantine, which was almost 6 months ago, still looks spectacular. I am thrilled with it. Look at the Aloe Cameronii. It has done its thing. We planted this back in March. It was green as grass, and now look at that. It is just so beautiful and red. What should I do with all of this Crassula Argentia? This is the biggest stand of Crassula I have ever allowed to occur in my garden. I'm going to have to make some decisions about it because this is the area where we're going to do a brand new succulent tapestry start to finish masterclass. It will be available around the first of the year. I'm extremely excited about it. It'll be my first course.
Very professional.
Yes, it will be very, very professionally done too, not just a cell phone and me. So yeah, the gutters.
And Hannah.
And Hannah, yeah. Not just me and Hannah. There will be others involved. It'll be awesome. You just wait. The gutters, I couldn't be happier with. Look at them. I mean, look how they're just so full and fabulous. This, I have done nothing. You remember the video where I planted all these cuttings? That was probably in May, wouldn't you say, Han? It was like in the springtime. This has held up beautifully all through the summer. Could not be happier with my gutter gardens. Okay, this little guy is also thriving. This little hanging basket, I planted these in moss instead of soil. I know some of you have said that crows come and birds come and take your sphagnums, so some of you can't use that. I don't seem to have that problem. Looks like I got gophers instead. But despite the fact that there's no soil, these plants are thriving. All right, that's it for this Walkabout Wednesday. I sure do love you all and appreciate all of you for subscribing. We just recently hit 80,000 subscribers, so that's huge. Thanks for all your purchases at the shop too. We appreciate your support of the channel. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with Walkabout Wednesday and your succulent tip of the day.